My favorite club, Barcelona, has been cursed, and the entire squad is gone. Well, except one player, Ter Stegen. Of course, it's the player I dislike the most. And now I've given the job to rebuild this Barcelona squad and win them the Champions League. But there's one rule. We can only sign ex-teammates of the previous player we've signed. So now that we've got Ter Stegen as our goalkeeper, must be an ex-teammate of him. You might be thinking, then why not go for Leo Messi? He's definitely an ex-teammate of Ter Stegen, now plays for Inter Miami. But sadly, there's one more rule. We've also got to link the positions, which means it's got to be a centre-back. Now, since Ter Stegen for the last 10 years has been at Barca, I can't really think of that many ex-teammates. He did play at Borussia Mönchengladbach before, but I can't think of any good ex-teammates from that time. Also, international teammates don't count. I guess we're gonna have to think of players that possibly left Barcelona. And okay, I can think of one in Marc Bartra. He's currently playing at Real Betis. He does count because he has played with Ter Stegen before. But man, 78 rated, 34 years old. Surely there are some better options. If only Gerard Piqué was still playing, he would have been literally perfect. But at least I have managed to find a decent centre-back that has played with Ter Stegen, and that's Jean-Claire Todibo. He actually only played 3 games with Ter Stegen when he was at Barcelona, but it counts. Now, of course, he's at West Ham. And so there you go, the first player getting into our team, Jean-Claire Todibo. Now, it's a good thing he's a West Ham player, because we do have another rule. We're only allowed a maximum of 3 players from a single club. But this is how things are going to keep getting challenging, because the next player we sign must be an ex-teammate now of Todibo. Now, the good thing is Todibo has played at a lot of clubs. Of course, Barcelona, West Ham, Benfica, even in the Liga. And also, we're not just tied down to one position now. We can pick either a left back, a centre mid, or even another centre back. So we can go 3 directions. If we want to go left back, there's players like Jordi Alba. Of course, Todibo played with him briefly at Barcelona, but I don't think a 36-year-old Alba is going to be helping us out much. But you won't believe it, guys. Alejandro Grimaldo is also an option, because Todibo was teammates with him at Benfica, but apparently only for a brief period. He played like 1 game with Grimaldo, and in fact only 7 minutes. But hey, based on the rules of this challenge, that does count. And yo, Grimaldo's 85 rated, just the kind of player we need. Plus, it could really open up some cool options going forward, because of course Grimaldo is still at Leverkusen, and so many great players have just left that club. But we do have some other great options too, like if we go to the midfield, we can pick Khephren Thuram. That's right, Todibo and Thuram were teammates at Nice for over 100 games. But talking about Nice, guess who was Todibo's centre-back partner there? That's right, William Saliba. And you know what? I think Saliba makes way more sense because he played like 15 games with Todibo at Nice compared to Grimaldo playing like 1 game in 7 minutes. Plus, I'm not sure if later on we'll get a chance to sign a Rolls-Royce defender. We're bringing in Saliba. Not gonna lie, I think we're off to a good start here. Todibo, Saliba, Ter Stegen. And now we're gonna be picking our right back, or it could also be the centre mid position. Which way do we go? If we go right back, I have found a couple of ex-teammates, Paul Lirola being one of them. Played quite a few games with Saliba when he was at Marseille. But another interesting one is Tomiyasu. Now, the reason he's eligible is because he is a free agent. Arsenal terminated his contract, effectively making him an ex-teammate. But yeah, he's only 78 rated. But if we go midfield, we've got some sensational options like Granit Xhaka. Of course, Saliba and Xhaka were teammates at Arsenal. Now Xhaka's playing for Sunderland. And hold up, that could genuinely open up a ton of possibilities for us. Xhaka's gonna have ex-teammates at both Arsenal as well as Leverkusen. We could really end up picking some ballers. I think this was a no-brainer. We're going with Xhaka. He's 86 rated. But now things get interesting. Where do we go next? Our second midfield position? Maybe the cam spot? Or even right midfield? And the best part is because Xhaka just joined Sunderland, he's got a whole host of amazing ex-teammates. Like we could pick a second Arsenal player, Bukayo Saka. How crazy would that be? And this might actually be the play because Xhaka's played 140 games at Arsenal with Saka. And honestly, I'm not sure if we'll get to pick a better right midfielder than him. But there's another player I can think of in that cam spot. Florian Wirtz, one of the best midfielders in the world right now. Of course, has just made a mega transfer to Liverpool. How do I decide between Wirtz and Saka? And bro, the options don't even end, because we could go with someone like Ødegaard for the midfield. There's even Palacios, Alex Garcia too. But I'll be honest, I think this is a choice between Wirtz or Saka. No other players even come into contention. And you know what? I'm kind of leaning towards Wirtz. Higher rated. We don't have a Liverpool player yet in the team. And oh man, this was a brutal decision to make, but I'm picking Florian Wirtz. Let me know in the comments who you would have picked, because man, was this difficult. Oh, and while you're down there, if you guys could subscribe to the channel, might give me some luck to complete this challenge, and it'll help us to get to 3 million subscribers. I do think I've made a bit of a controversial decision going with Wirtz over Saka, but I also feel like now since Wirtz is at Liverpool, we can pick some of his ex-teammates from Leverkusen, and bro, we've got plenty of options. Also the fact that we can go in multiple different directions, striker, right mid, left mid, or even centre mid. There's Callum Hudson-Odoi, who briefly played for Leverkusen, and if we pick him, it would be interesting because he's got a Chelsea past. A lot of players we can get maybe that way, but he's only 78 rated, so that would be a bit of an L. Could go with someone like Ezequiel Palacios or Alex Garcia. That would be awesome for the midfield. There's also Patrick Schick. That would be a really good striker to have, and he's played for multiple different clubs, so could be easy to link up. Couple more options like Boniface as well as Moussa Diaby. I definitely am leaning towards Patrick Schick because that would be an 84 rated striker in our team. But do I take a bit of a risk? Go with Hudson-Odoi so we can then go towards Chelsea players, because that is also very tempting. Now, this might be controversial because I am about to pick the lowest rated player among all the possibilities, but I'm going with Callum Hudson-Odoi. I feel like this will be the best way to get better players, and so we are taking a bit of a risk. Now we've got 3 options. We can either pick our left back, our final centre mid, or go all the way up to our striker. In the striker position, we've got players like Tammy Abraham, Olivier Giroud, Kai Havertz as well. He played for Chelsea, but none of them really excite me. In the midfield though, Ruben Loftus-Cheek could be decent, but also there's N'Golo Kante. Of course, before he moved to the Saudi League, he did play for Chelsea, and I didn't expect this, but Hudson-Odoi and Kante played for like 72 games together. Ooh, there's even Jorginho. Completely forgot about him. And honestly, I think this one's a no-brainer. We gotta go with Kante. He's got Champions League winning experience, and that's kind of what we need. Fun fact, every player we've picked so far has been from a different club, so we're absolutely smashing it. But with Kante, it does get interesting, because where do we go now? We can only pick a left back, and I think we're gonna have to go with the Chelsea player, because going back to Kante's time at, of course, Leicester, we're not going to get good options. But at Chelsea, he has played with Ben Chilwell. There's Marcus Alonso. These guys aren't going to be that high rated. Wait a minute, has Kante played with Cucurella? Not much, but 6 games. That is good enough for me. Bro, this is perfect, because Cucurella is literally 84 rated. Plus, don't forget, he's got a Barcelona past. He's come from their academy. This might be perfect to get better players in. So looks like choosing Kante has turned out to be clutch, because now we get to add Cucurella into the team. But okay, guys, we may have a bit of a problem. I just checked Cucurella's past at Barcelona. He barely got a chance there. In fact, most of his games for Barcelona were for the B team, and that's where we don't really have any good ex-teammates to choose from. Also, now that we are kind of positionally locked in the left-back spot, I mean, we've picked all the players around it. So that means the next player we pick will be for the bench, and we'll complete our bench of 7 players and then get back to the first 11. Now, that's actually quite good for us, because we can pick a player in any position. All they need to be is an ex-teammate of Cucurella, and already I can think of a few options like Alexis McAllister. They played together when they were at Brighton. There's even Jadon Sancho if we want to go for him. They of course played together at Chelsea, and now Sancho is away. Oh, Noni Madueke would be a good one too, especially for the bench. He's made the move to Arsenal, so he's eligible. But nah, if we're getting a chance to pick Alexis McAllister, 86 rated World Cup winner, we gotta go for him. Although it will be our second Liverpool player afterwards, so we've got to be careful. Okay, we've got 6 more bench players to go. Now, who could we pick as an ex-teammate of McAllister? His last club was Brighton. That's how, of course, we got Cucurella. We could go with maybe Tariq Lamptey. At least we'll have a right back in the team and maybe someone for the bench. There's Lewis Dunk as well. Decent centre-back to have. But okay, boys, after doing a bit of research, you won't believe the player I've just found. I actually had to double-check if this was real. Victor Gyökeres. How is he an ex-teammate of McAllister? Apparently, this was when Gyökeres was at Brighton. They played like 3 games together. I genuinely didn't expect to find a pathway to sign Gyökeres, but hey, we've somehow done it. And also, an ex-teammate of Gyökeres is pretty simple. He's just moved to Arsenal. We can pretty much pick any player from Sporting, and I think Inacio has got to be the play. Okay, we do have a problem. Since Inacio has mostly spent his entire career at Sporting, finding ex-teammates could be challenging. But hang on, we do have players like Matheus Nunes. He was at Sporting, now he's left for Man City. There's Pedro Porro as well, and we kind of do need a right back. back. Ooh, Palhinha too. And he's a Bayern Munich player, so that could open up some other doors. Actually, just as I was recording this video, it's been announced that Palhinha has made the move to Spurs. And bro, that is just perfect for us. And so I have signed Palhinha, but this now means he's going to count as a Spurs player, and we can now pick any of his ex-Bayern Munich teammates. Bro, that is actually crazy. We could go with someone like Musiala. Harry Kane is on the table too. We already have Gyökeres, so picking another striker might be an L. Luis Diaz is also an option. He's just joined Bayern Munich, but I don't think he'll count, because I doubt Palhinha and Diaz ever shared the pitch, so we can't call them ex-teammates. But honestly, I like the option of Michael Olise. That would actually be insane. But also, I kind of need to think which players I can pick so we can get the next player to be awesome as well. Olise's got a Palace pass, so I'm not sure if that's going to help. And honestly, I think it's only between a couple of players, Musiala or Kimmich. The thing with Kimmich is, he's been at Bayern Munich for so long that I'm sure he's got some great ex-teammates that have left Bayern. With Musiala, maybe not, but how insane would it be to have him in the team? We can maybe slot him in at left mid instead of Hudson-Odoi. We've only got 3 picks left for the bench. This one's important, and I've made my decision. It is going to be Jamal Musiala. I feel like he's versatile. We can play him anywhere in the midfield. Man, I can't believe we've got both Musiala and Wirtz in the same team. And now for Musiala's ex-teammates, I see a good few centre-back options. Lucas Hernandez, who's now playing for PSG, but he was at Bayern with Musiala, just like Matthias de Ligt. Bro, I think this decision is huge, because it'll put us on completely different paths. Because if we pick Lucas Hernandez, he's of course played for Atleti as well, so that's the kind of path we might go down. Whereas Matthias de Ligt, he's played for Juventus, Ajax before, and that path doesn't look all that bad either. Alright guys, let me cook, because I've got a plan. We're gonna pick de Ligt. And now when de Ligt was back at Bayern Munich, he was also teammates with João Cancelo. Guys, I think I've absolutely cooked with this, because now with Cancelo in the team, we can basically pick the ex-teammates he's had at Man City. But not just that, Cancelo also had a loan at Barcelona, and this is perfect. We're now going to be going back into the first 11, and since we're starting from the bench, we can choose any position in the starting 11 left as a starting point. Bro, the options we have are literally crazy, because we could go with Lamine Yamal. They've played 38 games together. Who would have thought? The only problem with Lamine is, though, who can we even pick after him? Because he's had such a short career at Barcelona only. How is he going to have any ex-teammates? That's why I'm thinking of making a controversial decision. I'm ignoring Lamine, and we're going with Cancelo's ex-Man City teammate, Erling Haaland. I mean, come on. I don't think we can complain about getting probably the best striker in the world. Now we need an ex-teammate of Haaland in that right midfield position. For a second, I thought maybe Ousmane Dembele, but Dembele left Dortmund way before Haaland joined. Right now, it feels like Daniel Malen might be our best pick. He, of course, played with Haaland during their Dortmund days. I thought maybe Leroy Sané would be a better option, but guess what? Him and Haaland were never on the same pitch together. I guess it's gotta be Malen then. Now, Malen does have us sorted for the right back spot, because back when he was at PSV, I remember he did play with Denzel Dumfries. That's our right back position sorted. And so, boys, our team is complete. Every player we signed was an ex-teammate of the previous player. I know I might have made some few mistakes, could have made better choices. Let me know in the comments which players do you think I missed out on. But now it's time to see if we can win the Champions League. Bit worried though that our only goalkeeper is Ter Stegen. And okay, this is a good start. Top 8 in the Champions League. But okay, this is horrible. How did this team we built get knocked out in the round of 16? I guess it was just super unlucky to draw Bayern Munich, man. But it wasn't all too bad. The team we built did win La Liga, as well as the Spanish Super Cup and the Spanish Cup. I guess we just got super unlucky in the Champions League. But man, Haaland cooked. Those plays of getting Cancelo and then Haaland was clutch. Musiala as well, Wirtz too. I think we actually built a team that deserved far more than a round of 16 finish. Let me know what you would have done differently in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, why not watch me build a side with one winner from every Champions League? Click here.